So guys, welcome to another exciting, beautiful, interesting episode of Talkd'talk with Adeola. Yes. So last episode we discussed about consistency in the music industry with Johnny Blake. Yeah. And basically we said passion should be a driving force for music, not the money or the fame. Yeah, have passion for music. So on the show today we have somebody with me on the show to discuss a particular topic. The man is where should I even start from? It is my daddy. No sugar daddy, no daddy so daddy, father. So guys, with me on the show today we have Dr. Ayotunde Alao. Yeah, welcome Dr. Ayotunde Alao.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Alao here is okay. He's the only MC with a PhD degree. Sure, go for. Yeah, he's the only MC with a PhD degree. He's a lecturer. Yeah. So sir, which one are you bringing on the show today? The lecturer part or the MC part?
Obviously, it can't be the MC part.
Okay.
So I'll try to keep my calm and let the lecturer part of me play today.
Okay.
Because if I have to bring the MC by now, immediately introduce me, I should have started with yo,
Oh,
like yo. But right now,
Thank you, sir.
So I'll try and do the lecturer part. Like, okay, thank you very much for having me on your show. It's my pleasure to be here today.
Yeah. Okay, so Dr. Ayotunde is a lecturer of mass communication at Quarantine University. He majors in writing. He has written a lot of articles about security and how to, handle mass com gadgets. Yeah, that brings me to security. Yes, sir. So, what do you have to say about the issue of insecurity in Nigeria?
Well, the truth is, insecurity in Nigeria is no longer news, except we just want to deceive ourselves. I think the only thing right now is location changes on almost a daily basis. First, it's either the Niger Delta problem, if a Modakeke crisis, or touts and area boys in Lagos, Fulani headsmen. I mean, different security challenges just keep coming up every day. So in Nigeria, it's no longer news. That the only thing is when we hear it, we know that, oh, this is the area it's happening again. But for now in Nigeria, the issue of insecurity is actually something of serious issue that is actually affecting our society in a very, very negative way.
Oh, that's huge. Okay, let's go to the rampant issue of the Southern-kaduna killings that we know everywhere. Last week I lost a friend to the attack. So what do you have to say about the general?
The truth is, for some reason, I don't understand what really happened to Kaduna. Kaduna used to be a very peaceful place. I mean, I visited a couple of times, and it's one of those areas you would love to go back to. And all of a sudden, this insurgency came in. Since it came in, we've been hearing different opinions. The governor has been going back and forth, saying, "Oh, it's a communal clash based on land issues, blah blah blah." And Kantu is coming out to say, "No, it's Fulani headsmen. They're killing Christians." But you see, the truth is, we have a misdirection. We're focusing on the wrong issue. People are dying, and then we're concerned about what led to the death, rather than being conscious of the fact that this death is happening. It doesn't matter what is causing it. How do we stop it? What exactly can we do, or what is the reason for it? You realize that whether the Khan is saying it's Fulani headsmen, or the governor is saying it was caused by a communal clash, people's life, properties are at risk, and nothing much is being done about it. So I think we're focusing on the wrong issue, arguing about something that really doesn't matter. The people that died have died already. So we should focus on how do we make sure this doesn't happen again. Somewhere in between, there's a truth as to what is causing it. Mm-hmm. There's a clash and there are deaths, and that is a major fact. So we should put that at the back of our mind whenever we talk about this issue of insecurity in Southern-kaduna.
Okay, so Dr. Ayotunde is saying that either the governor is saying it is a community clash between two communities, or the Khan are saying that it is the headsmen killing the Christians. There is a truth somewhere in the story. So what do you feel might have been the cause of the whole killing?
Okay, you see, the issue with insurgency in Nigeria is a lot of things can cause this killing. First off, on the priority list is the issue of poverty. In the northern part of Nigeria, there are rich people, or you should visit certain communities, you will know that there is abject poverty. in the north. And a lot of their leaders have actually been clamoring and saying that these northerners, they're going through a lot of poverty issue. The rich get extremely rich, and then the poor rely on just the rich. Nothing is being done about improving their situation. Secondly is the issue of illiteracy. If you look at the chart, you see that the highest level of illiteracy comes from that side. And when people are not educated, when people are not learned enough, whatever you sell into their mind is what they believe. Whatever you tell them to do seems to be what they will believe, as long as you put food on their table. So you see, sometimes for survival reasons, these insurgencies will come up. If I've not been fed for 3-4 days, there is no, if somebody offers me arms to go and get something that I will eat and use to feed my family, I will probably take it up. So when I don't have a choice, I would go into those kind of things. And also a major cause of this thing is misunderstanding within the communities. Okay. This land belongs to me, it doesn't belong to me. If you see, all the things I started with still boils down to this issue. If something like land issue happens in the western part of the world, or let's say of Nigeria, automatically we are taking it to court. It's going to be a court case. Court will settle the matter at the end of the day, whether it's the right decision or not. Once court says final judgment is the land goes to Mr. A, there's nothing Mr. B can do about it. But you see, in the north, rather than go to court, we believe, you enter my house, kill them all, let's finish them. And unfortunately, innocent people get to suffer. This last one in Southern-kaduna, children were affected. A popular musician's father, Joel Amadi's dad, was actually also affected. So you realize that it's a form of senseless killing. The killings can't be justified. That's the honest truth. So you see, the major cause are these few things I've itemized. If we can focus on eradicating poverty, educating these people and getting them learned about how to handle issues, and then we can look for opinion leaders, community leaders should sensitize their community on the need for peace. Look at Modakeke and Ife crisis. Lasted for so long until certain measures were put into place. And those measures are the things we should start looking at on how to solve this Southern-kaduna crisis.
Okay. So, as I've rightly said, poverty, illiteracy, and misunderstanding between communities are basically the causes for the southern killings. So, sir, with all these causes that you have mentioned, what do you feel the solutions to the problem? Like, what should the government have done better that they're not even doing at all?
Let me try and recommend 3 major things. The third one actually came from a paper I wrote some times back about using gadgets, using satellite technology to curb crimes and all that. Well, let me start from community policing. You see, Yorubas have been saying that basically the translation is that only a thief knows how a thief will climb a rock. Do you understand? So you see, sometimes when you, for example, let's take a practical example. If something happens in your area and they say some bad boys from your area did some things, you already know who you are suspecting.
Exactly.
Because you can always say, I'm Motaya You understand? We are Daniel, they are the ones that used to do those bad things. So let's you understand? You already understand the community. Okay, so it's basically involving community members in security outfits. They know the community better, they know the ins and outs. If there's an attack today, they know where people can likely pass into the village, they know where people can exit through. So when those things when they are inculcated into security outfits, community policing is like creating a police brought from people within a community and security outfits merging together. They will be able to checkmate each other. And one of the biggest fear in Southern-kaduna right now is you can't even trust police, you can't trust soldiers, you don't know who is who. Anybody can come in today in camouflage, in army uniform, and then they are bandits and actually still kidnap people. Meanwhile, they are not real soldiers. So if there's that community policing, you can differentiate between who is who. You know when there's a strange face in town and all that. Secondly is the issue of funding. You see, they need to fund those areas. We can't eradicate poverty, but we can reduce it. In a situation where a kid doesn't eat for 2-3 days, he will pickpocket, he will probably steal. And one of my mentors used to say, if you don't take care of the children of the poor, they will not let your own children enjoy your wealth. So it's basically a matter of taking care of these people, providing basic amenities so that they don't have reasons to go and scout for those things on their own. And lastly, is the installation of satellite gadgets. CCTV cameras. You know, the study I did then was actually a very funny and interesting study. We realized that majority of people are always conscious in an area where they know that there's camera watching them. So for example, you go into a supermarket and you know there are cameras all over, you get very careful. You don't, in fact, let's not even say stealing. You get careful to a point that you don't want to scratch your bum in public.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't want to pick your nose because you know, oh, camera is watching, so you try to package. And so it's always like that. When you know that something is watching or somebody's watching, there's this fear that comes into you. I mean, there was a particular street, one of the studies I did, there was a particular street that was always recorded for robbery every week. So the police didn't, they used to park their car around, but still those robberies happened. But the very day they put a CCTV camera and they put it at the entrance of the street and at the end of the street, that this street is strictly monitored by CCTV camera, for that period, crime reduced drastically. Because all of a sudden the criminals are conscious that, hey, they will catch me on camera, they will see me. So CCTV helps in a lot of ways. So if there is a lot of attention focused in those areas, you realize that people that perpetrate this crime, once they know that they are being watched, they can be traced, they can be tracked, will reduce the way they take on all these unnecessary, incessant killings.
Wow, I've actually learned a lot today on this show, and I'm sure you're learning. So, okay, so thank you, sir, for coming to the show. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Can you just your social media handle?
Oh, okay. The handle is DR Ayotunde. If you call it together, some people say Dra Ayotunde, but it's actually Dr. Ayotunde, DR Ayotunde, whether capital letters or small letters. But the easiest way you can find me on social media is just go to Google and type the only MC with a PhD.
Let me be proud. Let me be proud.
No, but it's the truth.
Okay.
If you go to Google right now, Google, they say Google is like the biggest marketplace right now. So you go to Google, you can search for anything, but once you type the only MC with a PhD, I'm sure it will bring out at least the first visibility of the first 3, 4, 5 things you will see will be about me. So I'm sure you'll be able to get that. Somebody just Googled it backstage and found out that it's true. So Google doesn't lie. Let me brag a little bit. Okay. But don't let the MC part come out.
Where you go on Google, search for the only one now. What? The only talk.
Just search for Talkd'talk with Adeola. Obviously, bring out your name.
That you heard it there. So, as Dr. Ayotunde has rightly said, the causes of insecurity in Nigeria, especially the Southern-kaduna killings, can actually be because of poverty, illiteracy, and misplaced priority and misunderstanding between communities. So he's saying that possible solutions to that particular problem might be people coming together to coming to an understanding of themselves and trying to find peace between themselves. Government providing. Okay, he actually said that cannot eradicate poverty, but can actually reduce poverty. Maybe if governments are reducing poverty by providing necessary amenities and necessary things, maybe killings may actually stop. And all in all, the providing of cameras, because basically when you have a camera all over, you're going to be very conscious of not doing the wrong thing. So that's all we have for you on the show today. So guys, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. So until the next time we're going to meet on the show, hi, I'm Adeola. Thank you. We are having this one we just did now. We're having yes. It sounds working. Thank you. So let's have the show. Go.